Good morning. Looking at the US markets, well, overnight we actually saw the markets coming under pressure. There was mixed earnings results. We also had some concern about interest rates after some commentary from Donald Trump. And also we had a bit of negativity coming into the European market on their earnings front, and also on the fact their retail sales out of the UK were lower than expected, meaning there was a bit of pressure coming into the euro, but sending the US dollar stronger. We did have US dollar strength being the major story overnight. We also had commodity markets coming under pressure, with the gold price yet again falling another $5 an ounce to $1,222 an ounce, and the base metals losing ground, with Rio and BHP both sliding in the European trading session, and also the big guns in that mining sector in the US and BHP and Rio losing ground in US trade. Now, what was going on overnight? Well, we had some commentary coming out, Donald Trump saying that he wasn't happy with interest rates moving higher. Now, this put a bit of pressure midday on what was happening with a big run in the US dollar. It started to fall back. We saw the market also losing momentum. Then we had a comment coming through from the White House saying that they wanted to reaffirm and clarify that Trump respects the independence of the Federal Reserve. So we saw the gains in the US dollar basically coming back on the boards. Now, if we have a look at the earnings front, we did have a fair bit of activity coming in the earnings season. We had eBay falling. Unfortunately, their revenue was at $2.6 billion US dollars, up by 9%. But when you looked at their operating margin, it fell to 15.4, down from 19.8 in the last quarter. So a bit of concern there, and also concerns about future growth, seeing their share price down around 9%. Domino's Pizza also coming out, retail sales up by 12.6%, but their domestic revenue was very strong, international only up by 4%, and that's where they're spending the majority of their money into growth. So there's a bit of concern. But we had IBM coming in, beating the street, the revenue up by 20 billion US dollars, showing they're really turning around this business. Profit up by 11%, and the share price is moving higher. And we also had a bit of a mixed bag coming through from American Express. They fell early in the day. Their income coming in at 1.6 billion US dollars, up by 12%. They also saw a big increase coming through, 10% in spending on cards, but it just wasn't enough to excite investors. Looking at the media sector now, this has been in focus for some time. Today we had Comcast coming out and saying they still would try and look at buying the assets of Sky, but they're going to move away from trying to buy assets from the Fox network. So we saw that Comcast shares were up. We had Walt Disney moving to a one-year high on this news, as they will continue to pursue buying those Fox assets. Elsewhere, well, the commodity markets, the gold price, as I mentioned, coming under pressure. The oil markets, well, oil was up there at $69.30 US a barrel. The Australian market at the moment set for a 10-point slide at the start of our trading day. Yesterday we had better than expected numbers coming through on the job front. We saw 50,900 jobs being created in June, when the market was only expecting around 12 to 15,000 jobs. We did see the Aussie dollar going for a great run yesterday, but losing momentum because of the strength in the US dollar overnight. And the Aussie dollar at the moment holding around that 73.5 US cent mark.